Hello, welcome to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you as we adjust our camera. This is a Ma and Pa outfit. It always will be a Ma and Pa outfit. We're not going to add a bunch of garbage to it because the people that do that don't tell the whole news. They're compromised. In fact, 95% of the internet is completely compromised. They tell stories that aren't so, or they don't understand what they're talking about. They just read it. They look good, but they don't fully understand it, nor do they talk about the significance of it. Anyway, welcome to our channel. Unbelievable. The Super Bowl really stank. But first, a message to the Rothschilds, and that message is this. You fail to see the significance of the fractal numbers between realities. You failed to see that in the fractal plane between realities. And I can go into that, but it would take too long on this show. So, you didn't take care of 29. 73 is a very significant number because that's the number of seconds that all the clocks in London stopped when one of the Rothschilds died. When we drove off our lot, the amount of mileage on a car was 73. 73 men set sail into San Francisco Bay. 73 is a significant Rothschild number, and they failed to see that in their face. In the fractal plane, they failed to see it. But their pride and arrogance would not allow them to take care of AA29. So in their pride and arrogance, their time is coming up. They're not going to extend it. You're going to lose manipulation and control of the fractal plane. Very, very soon. The contract's up. You failed to see the significance. Finally, thank God. Anyway, on to the news, and I know most of you don't understand that, but the people that watch this who do understand it know exactly what it means. It means the Rothschilds are losing power because they failed to do what they said they were going to do. They lied. And now they're in deep doo-doo. So anyway, it has to do with the Vela Monastery and the glowing object that met with Putin. Putin turned down the Rothschilds for negotiations. He can turn them down, and he failed to take care of 29. AA29. They know exactly what that means. But anyway, this channel was designed for presidents and for ambassadors and for the leaders of industry. And many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You failed. You didn't take care of AA29. Your fractal planes are going away. Your manipulation is going away. On to the news. An orange is $3 a piece now. Unbelievable. And one bag of groceries is $71. $71. And that's with no meat. Prices have gone through the roof. And all you can do, President Trump, is keep paying those refugees $8,500 a month plus free rent, giving them free houses, while the people on Medicare get screwed. That's right. We now are paying not $500, but $700 this month for medical care. $700. Why? Because you're giving it to the refugees, President Trump. Because you don't have the guts to cut off the refugees from money. So you're screwing the older people who put into, all 15 million of them who put into this system. You're screwing them purposely and with intent. It's going to come back on you. I'm telling you, you better get some gonads below the belt. Anyway, a little bit about silver. Yeah, we get our silver from Noble Gold Investments. Of course we do. 877-646-5347. It's 810 million ounces of silver are mined a year. A lot of it comes from Mexico, China, Peru, Bolivia, Poland, Russia, and the United States. But the U.S. is down to 1.1 million. We produce very, very little silver because our silver mines have been closed by the EPA. And ever since then, we've been dumping toxic waste down many of the silver mines, like above Well-Pinnet on the Spokane Indian Reservation, where we dump Hanford nuclear radiation. We just drive the truck up there, open the valve, and dump that radiation right on down into that mine. And if we can't do that, we take a train and we go north of Bonners Ferry, Idaho, and we dump it. Every nuclear facility has a site where they dump radiation. And we're going to build more nuclear plants. For AI? No, it's not for AI. Sure, they're building AI centers. It's primarily for the underground bases. They're now stockpiling food, water, toilet paper, ammunition, heat, communications, gold and silver, and medicines. And when that magnetic anomaly comes by, it's going to do this to the earth. Your little caves are going to start caving in. There's no place you can hide. It's not hideable from. But you think you can. You're deluded, because that magnetic anomaly is going to rip Mars apart, like it's doing now. So goes your underground bases. But anyway, the demand exceeds 1.6 million ounces, yet we produce 1.6. This is off the scale, 810 million ounces, and we need 1.6 billion. We've been overusing silver for 5 years, and the vaults are empty. Our demand is double what the worldwide production is. So we have drained the silver vaults, the copper vaults, and the gold vaults. So when India and the United States went to print their silver coins, there was no silver. There's no printing of silver coins either in the United States or in India. There is no silver. It's gone. Every cruise missile uses 50 pounds of silver. It's right there in the Boeing Museum. They have a Nazi cruise missile. And it's a cruise missile. That's what the Nazis were using, the V-1. 50 pounds of silver in every missile. And when that missile hits, there's about this much left of it. You can't find pieces of the missile after it explodes. That silver vaporizes. Poof. It's gone. I don't know if it turns into another element, but it's gone. And all those gold fittings in the cruise missile where they connect the wires, those gold fittings, that gold is gone. But most of the gold has been recovered. Very little is used for the manufacturing of Aegis radar systems, F-35 airplanes, the Gatling guns on aircraft carriers, which they need more of. Very, very little gold is used. It's almost all silver, platinum, a little palladium, a lot of copper, and we vaporize it when we blow things up. We make 15,000 bombs a year. We got to drop them somewhere, so we just sent 150 C-5 transports over to the Middle East, filled with supplies, just like we did before the Iraq conflict. So anyway, I don't know what to say. We're out of silver. I never thought I'd see the day when we were out of silver. I never thought I'd see the day when there was such a silver deficit for making weapons to kill humans that we would be out of silver. They don't use it when they spray us. They use toxic chemicals, not silver. So they're soon going to come and they're going to say, well, all that silver you bought, and what do we keep here? We keep a couple coins. All that silver you bought, all those Morgan dollars, this is what the United States Corporation is going to do. Remember, the United States Corporation is in competition with the Department of Justice, so don't expect the Department of Justice to arrest enemies of the people. This little coin here, a Morgan dollar, they're going to claim that that's not yours. Give it back to the government. They're going to claim the silver rounds you bought were not yours. They were erroneously sold to you. Give them back. The United States Corporation is soon to start, I believe they're soon to start seizing silver and gold, but I don't think they're going to get away with it because everybody knows the United States is a corporation. They're going to call it, they're going to say national security. We want your gold and silver back. Hide it. Except they've got machines that can read silver down to 1,000 feet, so they know what you have. Resist. I'm going to resist. You can't have my silver back. You can't have my gold back. The Rothschilds have failed to take care of AA-29. They're losing total control. Unbelievable. As this satellite goes, I just plan to say no. I plan to resist. And finally, on to the Super Bowl. I call it the Stupid Bowl. These players work their tail off, and they work hard. And the quarterback of Seattle made $178,000 like everybody else who won the Super Bowl. And so the state of California is taxing him $268,000 because he made $178,000. and he played 8 days in California and brought in $105 million. So they have a jock tax, which means if you play for 8 days in California, you have to pay income tax on that money. So Seattle quarterback made $178,000. He has to pay $268,000 in taxes. If you ever have another Super Bowl in California, you're stupid. And what about those songs that they played? Unbelievable. NBC, which has liabilities and short-term liabilities and debt and bonds and stocks and blah, 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 is $540 billion in debt. They have to borrow over $60 billion a year this year just to claim and to state that they have a profit. Now, they sponsored this NFL game. And NBC, which is a mouthpiece for the deep state, is fed by the Federal Reserve System. Again, they give the left-wing media over $1 trillion in their arm injection to give us crap. So NBC hosted, and what did they host at the halftime? They hosted a Spanish guy saying, "Let's go F, let's go F, 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 boom, 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 boom." That's what he said for the entire halftime as he held his crotch and they had homosexual sex on stage. They simulated it. What we saw at the Super Bowl was the most grotesque form. It was horrible. It was the worst Super Bowl in history. First they have witches. Then they have witches sacrificing people. Just like at the Olympics when they shot all those lambs as a sacrifice. Then they had a 70-foot tall witch. Now they've got a halftime where all they're doing is F, 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 boom, 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 F, F, F. And we had to watch that. That is the most disgusting Super Bowl anybody has ever witnessed. And it's all being done because it's a mouthpiece, an absolute mouthpiece for the deep state, which has failed to take care of 29. So they're going to lose the contract. So the emergency broadcasting system became the emergency alert system, which became the emergency notification system, which I think is headquartered in Chicago, but I'm not sure because it's convoluted and twisted the way it is on Wikipedia. So I'm not really sure where it's headquartered. But that Super Bowl that halftime was about one thing, well, two things. One, pushing Satanism. Up yours, white man. Pushing Satanism. And number two, it was about the emergency notification system which put on the halftime. It wasn't the emergency management system. It wasn't the emergency broadcasting system. It wasn't the emergency alert system. It is now the emergency notification system, which was funded by NBC to get started and build a huge network. So now they can communicate to you sounds, frequencies to make you sick, get a heart attack, make you happy, make you sad, and you don't even know it's being broadcast on. And it can be broadcast through a computer, through a cell phone. The sounds can go through a pager. They can go through a television set. They can go through any mass media form of communication. Right through a dial-up telephone, although the dial-up speakers aren't tuned into those frequencies, nor are the telephones, the old dial telephones that we used to have on the wall. They had to upgrade them in order to get the frequencies into your brain to control you. They can make you stand on your head if they want to. So they can do this. They can notify newspapers, magazines, to send out an emergency alert signal. It is now a one world government with complete control, and that's what the NFL halftime was. To see if you'd be stupid enough and dumbed down enough to go, it's just a bad show. No, I'm never watching another NFL game ever. Ever. That sealed the fate for me. I won't go watch it. I won't go see it. I won't go turn it on. I don't care what the score is. The halftimes are run by the emergency notification system, and they are there completely a worldwide organization to program you and to put things into your brain you don't even know that's going into your brain. If that's what you want out of the NFL games, if you want sounds and frequencies to go into your brain, through the cell phone or through the telephone, through the cell phone or through your computer or through your television, watch the NFL games. The emergency notification system is now in charge. Their colors are the same as in Mexico. They speak Spanish as their primary language. They're in Chicago, green and red. They're here to program you. That's why we talk about the fractal planes between realities. You see, they bounce up and down through the astral planes. They understand how to do that with the numbers. We don't. We're never trained in it. Why would they train the average American person to know what they know? Because knowledge is power, and they have the machines to back it up. But they failed to take care of 29, so they're going away. Thank you, boss, for getting rid of these little rat finks. They can't even follow the instructions that they've given themselves. But now, under the emergency, I got to get this name right, because if I don't, it's just all wrong. Under the emergency notification system, you will now experience sounds and frequencies being blasted on your computer you've never seen before. And it will control you, how you feel, what you do, whether or not you get sick. It's now all controlled. 100%, we have a one world government controlling what you think, how you think, and what you say. And when they crash the system, because the illegals overload the system, because Trump doesn't have the gonads to evict the illegals, when the illegals crash the system, you'll get that stamp here, you get the stamp here, and on the back of your neck. Invisible fluorescent signal. An invisible fluorescent symbol that uses the UPC, which Carl Sanders developed to track dope coming in from Vietnam. First he developed the Vera chip, and then he developed the little universal fluorescent chip. It's invisible to the naked eye, but when run under a black light, it registers who you are. And don't think that system's not going to crash. And don't think that system's not going to make you sick. Oh yeah. The dyes they use in it will make you sicker than a dog. That's why the Bible talks about the diseases breaking out. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. All I can say is resist. Part of your resistance, and I know many of you will not be able to do this, is to throw the TV out the window. Use the computer as little as you can, and keep the internet off on your phone. Constantly keep it off. Use it for telephone calls. If you need it for GPS, turn the system on. There's nothing I can do except tell the truth, and we've done our best. God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. You are the salt of the earth. You make the world go round, and we'll see you bright and early, hopefully, tomorrow morning.